Wilt Chamberlain was a professional basketball player who achieved many impossible things in his career. Being born in Philadelphia on August 21, 1936, he had 8 siblings. They all lived in a middle-class neighborhood, with his father working at a publishing company and his mother doing housework. During these early years, he caught pneumonia, missing a whole year of school and almost dying because of it. Around the middle of his childhood was when he started to become taller than everyone around him. He reached 6 foot by the age of 10. Because his father was 5'8" and his mother 5'9", it was very unusual that he was already this tall. He wasn't interested in basketball until 7th grade, where he quickly showed himself to be a talented and hardworking player. In 1953, he joined Overbrook High School's freshman basketball team.
Astonishingly, he was 6'11" when he started high school, a whopping 15 inches taller than his father, and over a foot taller than the average grown man. While he was in Overbrook, he also dabbled in track and field and high jumped an impressive 6 feet 6 inches. Meanwhile, his monstrous height and skill led him to be the star player on his basketball team, the Panthers. Because of his height, he played the center position, which is the closest position to the basket. Players shoot the ball at the basket, and if it goes in, they score points. Wilt's center position allowed him to block shots to stop them from going into the basket. He averaged 31 points per game in 1953. On an amount comparable to an NBA superstar, he scored a school high of 71 points in one game and led Overbrook to a flawless 19-0 season.
At age 18, he was asked by over 200 colleges to play for them. These colleges wanted his talent on their teams and tried to persuade him by any means necessary. One would make him the coach, one would give him diamonds, and one would make him a movie star. In the end, he chose to play for a college in Kansas. During his very first game with Kansas, he had 42 points and an unbelievable 29 rebounds. You get a rebound when you get the ball after a missed shot, so it was very impressive for him to get 29 in one game. Even in early adulthood, he was still doing track and field. By this time, he grew to his final height of 7 foot 1 inch. His skill and height landed him a spot on the Harlem Globetrotters in 1958. The Harlem Globetrotters are an extremely skilled team of basketball players not in the NBA. They combine talent, comedy, and athleticism into their routines and travel the country performing.
After performing for them for 1 year, he landed a spot on the Philadelphia Warriors, an NBA team who flourished with him on their roster. In his very first professional game, he scored 43 points, an impressive feat for anyone, let alone a rookie. He quickly developed an on-court rivalry with the Boston Celtics defensive star Bill Russell. His first season was very successful because he won the Rookie of the Year award as well as League MVP, which is given to the league's best player each season. After 2 incredible years, his greatness peaked in 1961 to 1962. In the season, he obtained multiple unbreakable records. He scored an average of 50.4 points per game in an entire season. The very best NBA players today average about 20 less points than he did. In March of 1962, he scored 100 points, 25 rebounds, and won the highest scoring NBA game ever at the time. This one game alone cemented his legacy as an NBA legend.
In the following seasons, he continued his dominance of the league. For the next 5 years, he scored over 30 points per game on average. In the 1966 to 1967 season, he finally showed signs of slowing down. He started to average less and less every season until he retired in 1973. In his 14-year career, he averaged an unheard of 30.1 points, 22.9 rebounds, and 4.4 assists per game. By the time he retired, he broke so many records that, according to his teammate, the NBA record book reads like Wilt's personal diary. Just a few of his accomplishments include being inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame, winning the NBA championship twice, being a 13-time All-Star, 4-time League MVP, 7-time scoring title, 11-time rebound title, and having his jersey number retired on 4 teams, including the Harlem Globetrotters. He was the first player to score 30,000 career points and has the most points in a season. After retiring from the NBA, he continued his athletic career, joining the International Volleyball Association in 1974 at the age of 39. In just 1 year, he became the president of the association, and he was so good that he won MVP of the league.
In 1979, when the short-lived league folded, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame for volleyball, becoming one of the only athletes ever to be in the Hall of Fame for 2 different sports. He began looking into other interests after sports. He wrote an autobiography titled Wilt, just like any other 7-foot black millionaire who lives next door. He started acting in commercials and movies. Some of the movies he starred in included Conan the Destroyer as Arnold Schwarzenegger, Wilt, The Trials of Muhammad Ali, and Black Magic. In 1991, he wrote a second book, A View from Above, and continued to act in commercials and various movies. In his final years, he wrote his third book, titled Who's Running the Asylum? Inside the Insane World of Sports Today, in which he wrote about his feelings for the NBA. Unfortunately, because most humans aren't 7 feet tall, his life was shorter than average. After he turned 63, his health began to decline. In 1 week, he lost 50 pounds and became very sick. He died in his house in Bel Air on October 12, 1999. After his death, he was credited in many more movies and inducted into the NBA's 75th anniversary team, which was a team of the very best players from the past 75 years. His impact on the game of basketball comes through many forms which still exist today. Some of his records still remain unbeaten. The rules he changed as a result of his dominance still stand today. Most importantly, his legacy cemented him as one of the first real NBA legends.